No one told you.
Told me what?
Michael Myers is alive.
Groovy, baby!
What is this man?
Austin Powers.
Doc said Michael Myers.
This is Mike Myers.
It should be the Halloween man.
This is a Halloween mask.
No, the killer dude from Halloween.
Oh, you mean Jason?
No!
So Halloween Kills came out a few days ago, and it wasn't very good. But I won't lie to you, I had a blast seeing this movie. The general consensus on this movie seems to be that it is a filler movie. It's got cool kills and fun sequences, but is light on plot and characters. And I mean, yeah, that's about right. The easiest way to describe this movie is that it is the Fast and the Furious entry. You spend the duration of the runtime watching Michael kill people while the characters talk about what happened in the last movie.
Hello, exposition. Austrian.
There's quite a bit of style, but not so much substance. It's worth noting that Michael himself doesn't feel like he's in the movie much. This movie just has too many goddamn characters in too many goddamn places, and it's presented in a somewhat cluttered way that makes it feel like you're watching two different movies, because Michael never really interacts with anyone that we know until the end of the film. And on that note, the movie also ends quite abruptly. No spoilers, but there's a sequel coming out next year that's marketed as The Final Showdown. So I think they wanted a cliffhanger, but in execution, it didn't really end up having the impact it was supposed to. However, when Michael is on screen, the film goes up to an 11. The kills in this movie aren't just good, they're brutal. Michael is scary in this movie. One of my biggest complaints in the last movie was that there was a lot of kills that were off screen, but this movie does not follow that trend. The kills are fucking sick. There's one near the end that's just, well, you'll have to see it yourself. The audio in this movie is also really good. Guns aren't used much, but when they are, the gunshots have an impact and legitimately startled me the first time I heard them. So we are now in the spoiler part of the review, so if you don't want to be spoiled, skip to here for the out of 10 rating. Alright, spoilers incoming in. A big selling point of this movie is that a bunch of characters from the original would be returning. But these characters don't really do much and they have no meaningful scenes together. Honestly, the one that gets the most development is fucking Lonnie. They just aren't shown much respect in the context of the story. There's a scene where Marion Chambers tries to kill Michael and she says, "This is for Loomis." And it got me thinking, what if we had a quiet moment in the movie where she talked about Loomis and how the aftermath of the original film affected him? That would be cool as shit, but no, she just dies. Tommy Doyle is in this movie too, and he's kind of the main character. But he doesn't really do anything except run around looking for Michael and deliver some bad exposition. And he's tragically not played by Paul Rudd.
Jonathan?
I guess Rudd was too busy with, Ant-Man. What else is that guy up to? Ghostbusters, shitty TV show, what the fuck? Again, if there had been a few moments in the movie where he just talked about how he felt, he could have been a really good character. Also, Laurie and the other main characters from the last film aren't in this movie much. Hell, Laurie and Michael never even meet in this film, and Allison only encounters him at the very end of the movie. Wait, what did I like about this film? Oh, that's right, Big John and Little John.
Girl, it's okay. Where is she?
She's, right there!
While the main characters aren't so good, I found the side characters very enjoyable. Most of them aren't long for this world, so you just get to watch them do funny shit and then die. The best example of this comes in the form of a gay couple that lives in the Myers house called Big John and Little John, played by Scott MacArthur and Michael McDonald. They are introduced with Big John dancing to the song "It's Halloween," and then later in the movie they go hunting for Michael armed with nothing but fruit knives because it's the only weapon they have. Oh, and they keep track of each other by doing Marco Polo but with each other's names. Now, from what I've seen, the comedy in this movie is quite divisive, but I was laughing my ass off through most of it. Another thing I really enjoyed was that this movie gives us flashbacks showing Michael's capture at the end of the original. I think they were mostly able to capture the atmosphere of that movie, and it really felt like it was taking place right after the original. I'd also like to quickly note that I thought the way they brought back Loomis was done incredibly well. It could have so easily been a cheap gimmick, but they went the extra mile and got a convincing person to play him. And most importantly, they used him sparingly. I cannot stress enough how important that is. Despite the fact that they lucked out in finding a body double to play him, they never went overboard and he only ever showed up when it made sense. I mentioned the kills, but I'd like to go into a little more detail now. There's a kill near the end of the movie where Michael shoves a guy's head in between a fence railing, and then proceeds to slam his head against all four sides of the railing, Sans style. And I know that some of you may think that sounds silly, but trust me, it's pretty intimidating. These kills aren't silly like they are in the Friday the 13th movies, but they also have a streak of creativity. In past movies, Michael has mutilated and decorated the corpses of people he's killed, but we never really got to observe that happen until now. And trust me, it does not disappoint. So those are my thoughts. Is it worth the watch? For me, yeah. I'd say its biggest failing is that it feels disconnected from the 2018 film. It's a filler movie that chooses spectacle over story. However, I know the people who made this movie know how to do good stuff, so if you're even reasonably invested in the story that the 2018 film set up, then I would see this to the end. Even if you don't like it, it's not going to offend you or anything. Or at least any more than this.
Trick or treat, motherfucker.
There's also talk of a director's cut in the near future that apparently has some important stuff in it, so maybe just wait for that. Okay, now I've got to rate this movie. So objectively, as a Halloween film, this movie is a 4.9. But subjectively, this movie gets bumped up to an 8, so take from that what you will. I've been Henry, and this has been The Spotlight.